Hello, Doctor Who Review The Invasion, starring Patrick Troughton. I have just finished rewatching this. This is probably the second viewing of this story. Episodes 1 and 4 have been animated, and I believe these were the first animations ever done by the BBC, or for the BBC. I'm not too sure who actually created it. This is the first adventure you'll see Brigadier as, well, the Brigadier. Because before he was a colonel, I think, or major, I'm not too sure. Nah. This is set in 1960s England. The Cybermen are the main villain of this story. However, they are not seen until part 5, I would say. Tobias Thorne is a very good character within this story. The Cybermen are just completely using this guy, and this guy thinks he's using Cybermen, which does create more conflict within the story, especially in the final 2 parts, when the Doctor finally convinces for his help defeating the Cybermen. Professor Watkins, I quite like that character. Very, very smart character, and a good plot device to get the photographer in the story are more important. Zoe had quite a lot to do in this story. Shows her intelligence very well, especially with the missile. When she did the calculations to hit all the spaceships of the Cybermen, which I thought was very fantastic to see. This is a it's a Troughton story, but it's very much a Pertwee story at the same time. It was setting up the next era, which this was clearly doing. It was sad to see we didn't see the Cybermen in Pertwee's era, but that's a video for another time. This is probably one of the best Cybermen stories I have ever seen within classic Doctor Who, and that is the best of the Cybermen stories in my opinion in classic Doctor Who and Big Finish. Did get a bit long, I would say, because with 1960s Doctor Who it does drag on a little bit, but not too much. It is very much watchable, very bearable to watch. The plot to this was fantastic. I think it was like some sort of cyber controller they had, with Tobias Thorne or something like it, and he was keep trying to get them to be on his side, but more or less they screw him over and invade anyway. The idea that there was going to be a bomb on Earth which could destroy it, and the stakes were very high in this episode, which you don't really see too much of within New Who. The characters are well developed, all of them, I would say. I quite liked Tobias Thorne's sort of sidekick guy, you know, the guy who does his bidding and more or less his bitch. Yeah, I would say this is a solid 8 out of 10 within my ranking of it. The length of it is 190 minutes approx, so it's quite long, but it's fantastic to watch. And I would very much recommend this story to anyone who would be willing to see Cybermen stories and Patrick Troughton. It's very much it's a great story. Can't say any more about it. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next video.